everybody. Well, you might think when you see the title of this video that not another Tanger-based vinyl tag. And that's what I also was thinking when I saw all of these pop up. We have a country tag, we have a folk music tag, we have a blues tag, we have a reggae tag, we have a tag for compilations, and I was a little bit skeptical, as I said before, because what would this do to the tag back when it comes to January 2022? The original tag, would that one be pretty much watered down and people would be fed up by tags by then? But Rachel Music Ma'am was trying to talk me into doing a synth-pop vinyl tag, and I was a little bit hesitating. Hold on there. No, maybe not. But when I saw all of these genres, I felt like, no, she's right. There's gotta be a tag for synth pop, for electronic music also. So here it is, the synth pop vinyl tag. And believe it or not, this is only, during my 7 years here at the vinyl community, my second thread actually. But it is what it is. So what is synth pop in this case, you might ask? What do we count here? Well, no vinyl tags is all that harsh. Use your imagination. Normally it is synth pop, pop music with a whole lot of synthesizers. But if you want to include industrial front 242 or stuff like that, be my guest. That's synth music. Of course, you will see a lot of the 80s new wave synth pop, British here also. You're welcome to use your imagination. The Synthpop Vinyl Tag 2021. I have 20 questions. You might recognize many of them, but they are classic vinyl tag questions. And I will show my alternatives, of course, at the same time. The album that first got you into synthpop, and you will also see a whole lot of albums that you have seen a couple of times before, like this. The album that got me into synthpop was Alphaville, Forever Young, that I discovered back in 1984. And I fell in love with it from the moment I heard it the first time. So this one is the base for my interest of not only synthpop but 80s music overall, maybe pop music overall. We have the first synth album you bought. That was this. The Depeche Mode's singles 81 to 85. I've heard a radio documentary on a youth radio program about the Depeche Mode. They played clips from all Depeche Mode songs, and I got so fascinated by it. And I bought this one on cassette. This, of course, is a European version. In America, you had to settle with this, catch him up with Depeche Mode. But all the songs here are not here. This is not complete with all of the singles. Instead, they have squeezed in Fly on the Windscreen here, and Flexible. So I consider myself lucky that we in Europe got the complete. And now, of course, I also have the reissue of 1998. We have a recent bought synthpop album, and I'm going to open a little bit of the box for the future vinyl CD update, because I found a whole great deal of synthpop yesterday yesterday actually, and some really great stuff here. But I took the one that I have been able to listen to so far. This is Swedish group Covenant and the album United States of Mind from 2000. The melodies may not be something that is going to be synth-pop classics, but it is great production, definitely great synth-pop production. Really well made. Check out the song Still Life, number 10. Really great one. We have show a synth pop 45 or 12 inch. You know these questions. Everyone have used them in different kind of tags so far. I picked this one. A picture disc of Space Age Love Song from A Flock of Seagulls from 1982. We have show a live synth pop album, and there actually are some. If you want to use bootlegs, because there are a whole lot of bootlegs, live albums out there with different kind of synth pop artists, the greatest names. Be my guest. They're live. That's the most important in this question. I picked Ultravox Momentum, the soundtrack. This is Monument. Sorry, Monument. Monument was a live concert that they used, that they did, with videos in the middle of the concert, in the middle of some songs, mixing very well with the on stage performance with the videos. They did very well mixing it together. And they also released this soundtrack with the songs from this concert, and it is recorded live at Hammersmith Odeon, December 1982. Show a Kraftwerk-album. I think it's pretty natural. Kraftwerk is a synth-pop band that many have, also in USA. I picked this. This is a compilation called Accelerate, with early Kraftwerk stuff. We have here some songs from what was before Kraftwerk, Ralf und Florian, and we have songs from the debut Autobahn. This one is from 1974 released. And next one, natural one, show a Depeche Mode album, which I recently just did. But Speak and Spell, their debut, I picked. Pure, very go happy synth pop, the most happiest album that the Depeche Mode ever did. We have the decade questions. Show a 70s synth album. And there are actually a whole great deal of synth albums from the 70s. Not just, of course, as many as in the later decades, but there were a whole lot of artists that experimented with synth music. And yes, Jean-Michel Jarre and those are included if you want to. And I picked French group Space and their album Magic Fly, including the hit single with that song. This is synth pop in the very early form. 1977. The Natural, a synth pop album from the 80s. Show a synth pop album from the 80s. I picked from 1980 Japan, Gentleman Takes Polaroids. Really like this one. Night Porter, amazing ballad. Show a 90s synth album. The 90s, the era when the synth pop industry took a huge dive and was more or less considered as an underground genre. But there were some that did, a whole lot of bands that released albums in small labels. But also a few of the great names managed to hang on, including Erasure. So I picked I Say, I Say, I Say from 1994, including the song Always. It was one of their final big hits. Erasure, who has a new song out right now called Secrets. Check that out. We have Show an Oats. Oats, I like to say Oats. I never get used to that name. Or 10th album from 2010. More modern synth-pop. I picked this one that I got from Baraka P Dub as a VCLT. Beacon's Escapements from 2014. Very relaxing and very almost ambient synth pop, but real relaxing and great album. A record you own, not many others know about, but should. There are a lot of synth albums out there that are very much forgotten today. So I bet this could be easy for many of you. I picked this one. The group themselves may not be that forgotten. They're very famous for one song actually. A song called Everybody's Gotta Learn Sometime. But the album actually are today extremely forgotten, and I definitely think more should listen to it because it's so great, and it is their album from 1980, Dumb Waiters, consisting then Everybody's Gotta Learn Sometime, and it is a synth pop that mixes with different other genres. You can hear a mix of synth pop with some even some 60s surf music, and it actually sounds really good and well made. It's extremely well made and wonderful, relaxing album. Highly recommended. The Corgis Dumb Waiters. Show your favorite synth pop album, natural, and I picked, of course, Depeche Mode's Violator. One of the best albums ever. We have Show Your Favorite Synth Pop Album Cover, and synth pop was one of the genres in the 80s that in most cases moved away from what had been typical for many artists, to have your photo in different kind of angles and to profile you. They moved away from that, and one example is this one, a sadly forgotten album. Maybe this also could have been a record you own, not many know about, but should. I picked this from British Fiction Factory, Throw the Warped Wheel Out. I like this this cover sleeve. Glow around this man in the dark, and very blurry nature, but it's very beautiful cover. Consisting, of course, Feels Like Heaven, the most famous, if not the only hit they have, unfortunately. Show a solo synthpop album. Solo artist synthpop album. Many of the biggest names in synthpop are bands. There's no doubt about that. OMD, Human League, Depeche Mode, New Order, bands, Japan, Ultravox, bands. But you don't lift up the solo artists in synthpop all that much. So it's time to do that. And I picked a former member of Ultravox during the days when they were more of a punk band. But much like Ultravox, he also went to the synth pop music. And I picked an album by John Fox called The Garden. Amazing album. Real well made. Such amazing great songs here. Europe After the Rain. Really amazing one. Dancing Like a Gun. So this one, highly recommended. Next one, also a little special. Show an album where a synth pop band or artist changed style. As the synth pop era came to an end, many synth pop artists tried to hold on to their career by changing their music style. Many failed. It sounded not like them. The fans abandoned the band, but also maybe a few actually succeeded. But they changed their style in order to still have a career. So show an album from a synth pop artist and band that where they changed their music style. And my example is Ultravox. They started to change their style a bit already with the album Uvox in 1986, but after then they took a hiatus and came back in 1993 with a new singer. I think it was called Tony Fennell, who by all means were no horrible singer, but he wasn't Ultravox. He was no mature. He didn't fit in one bit. When they released Revelation, that was an everyday pop album. Even though Bill Curry is here, he's also the only member that are from the original Ultravox. The melodies aren't Ultravox one bit, and it sounds very much anonymous, watered down, and regular pop actually. I'm not going to say that is the worst album I ever heard, of course, but it is production is okay by normal standard, but it's not Ultravox, it's not synth pop, and it's not fitting the band one bit. Also have then a synth pop album. A synth pop album you own that you would like to upgrade in 2021. And I picked this that I only have as a cassette. Erasure's The Innocence. I'm not that cares all that much whether I have it on cassette, on CD, on vinyl. It is an original, and I have the album. But there are some that I actually feel like it would be fun actually to have on vinyl still, and I think that Erasure's The Innocent would be one that would be fun to upgrade to a vinyl actually, or CD. We have a record a friend found for you or gifted you. I picked this one that I showed pretty recently. I got it from Cup 2 in Norway as a VCLT. Yellow Magic Orchestra from Japan. And the 2 CD set here. Yellow Magic Orchestra USA and Yellow Magic Orchestra. Japanese release also, from what I can tell. Show your favorite synth song. Natural question. I picked this. It is hard. I mean, there are so many, but this is one of my favorites. Depeche Mode's "Shake the Disease" from 1985. B-side, also a great one, "Flexible." Depeche Mode goes Cajun. It is a real classic that was maybe the first song with Depeche Mode that I actually listened to. And finally, number 20, synth pop record you hope to find in 2021. With that, I'm closing with maybe the most modern style of synth pop, the current synth pop style. And there is a band from Scotland, I think, called JorgenS. This is the only album I have, Every Open Eye, from 2015. I would like to find the follow-up album, The Bones of What You Believe, and the follow-up album, Love is Dead. Singles from those albums are really, really great, so it would be really amazing to find those. I really, really like this one. So, Vinyl Tag Synthpop Vinyl Tag 2021 is officially opened. And I hope that many of you will participate in this. It will be very, very fun to see how many that have synth pop albums in their homes, and we can share with each other tips and recommendations of great synth pop, keeping this genre alive. So with that, I hope that every one of you have a real nice time responding or whatever you do. No matter what you do, no matter where you are, take care and so long.